Hey guys, welcome back to my videos. Today we're talking about changes, making those changes. If you're not happy with something in your life, then only you have the power to really change that thing unless some kind of miracle happens or there really is a true external force within your life that is enabling you to have those changes that you really want without you really needing to do anything, which is very rare because normally the change has to come from within our own selves. And whenever we want something new or we're not happy with something in our life, with our body, with our job, with our business, with our relationships, with our health, with an injury, with family relationships, anything like that, only we can obviously change it, like I've said. And I just want you to take a moment now to think about things that you have changed in your past and what led you to make those changes. Is it a certain pain point that you've had to get to where you've had this level of complacency before that, and then you suddenly got to this pain point which was so high, which triggered you into change, which is more often than not what the kind of point of change is when that pain point is really high. So really, you don't have to live with anything you're not happy with, that you're not aligned with in your life, and you are able to fully live the life that you desire and the one that you're more aligned to, because we are changing all the time. Our frequencies are changing, hopefully getting higher and higher, and as our frequencies increase, what we want is changes, and what we feel we deserve also changes as well. You have more sense of worth, more sense of self-love, and just that inner knowing that you do and can attract more into your life. So some of the things that really hold us back from making these changes, number one is fear, because the unknown is scary. And it's really, we all want to get to a point where we are excited about the unknown rather than fearful of the unknown, because the unknown means something different. And if you're not happy with where you're at right now, then the unknown is something different. So that's something to get excited about. So what I'm saying is, you want to flip that fear on its head. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm scared of breaking up with my partner because I don't know what's on the other side of it, but I know that it's going to do me good because I'm really unhappy in this relationship and they're clearly unhappy and there's no way to resolve this. So we need to go our separate ways, but I'm scared to be on my own. It's that fear. So it's you then acknowledging what this particular fear is, pinpointing that fear, and actually then deciding to overcome it in your own way. And it could be from reaching out to a friend, reaching out for help. It could be just taking a certain action. For instance, another fear might be, with your body and health, a fear might be judgment in the gym, or even just starting an exercise routine, starting to get back into that, oh, okay, yeah, better get that first session out of the way. So it's that fear of like not being good enough, or fear of having to push yourself, fear of having to even work hard. And more often than not, that fear of needing to work hard can transcend into so many areas of our lives. And I've seen it, I've experienced it myself, and it really is just like, once you've got your mindset switched over to actually, that mode of working hard and doing whatever it takes to make that change in your life, then you're allowing that, you're freeing up that energy essentially, so that you're able to actually go on your path and actually do what you need to do and do what it takes to get to implement those changes, and to essentially just be more aligned with your life and what you want in this moment in time. And so another way we stop ourselves from changing is just procrastination. And we've all been through procrastination, where we've got a certain task at hand but we end up doing something else. We end up watching something. We end up hoovering the house. We end up cleaning or whatever it is, anything but that task. But then you've got to really just ask yourself this. Ask yourself, how much do I want this change? What would it mean to me to actually have this thing in my life or make this change in my life? What would it mean to me if I didn't make this change in my life? What would it mean about me if I didn't make this change in my life and I just kept going and kept going at this certain level of complacency? And complacency is the next kind of word or buzzword that I want to talk about here, where, you know, we often don't do things out of a sense of complacency, where we're just happy cruising along, you know, scale of 1 to 10, we're at about 4 or 5, cruising along, yeah, semi-happy, could be happier on certain days than others, usually the weekend, but actually, why not push yourself that little bit more, put your foot on the gas and start to raise that level so you're not in that complacency zone. You're actually pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. Again, striking off those fears, striking off that procrastination, getting yourself organized, having lists, and, you know, really this whole thing, this whole making a change is all about an energetic shift within you. And once you make that change energetically, and by energetically, I mean making the connection, first of all, being very present, breathing in with your body, and making that connection in your mind through just being present of what is holding me back. And once you energetically release that thing, you cut that cord of whatever it is holding you back, then you can move forwards in your life and you're able to free up that space in order to make those changes. So this is really, for me, it's the key. You know, I've gone over a few things of, like, you know, reasons why we might not make these changes, but I feel that deep down and through my experiences as well, of working with clients, it is literally that energetic shift that we all need in order to make these changes. So whatever it is for you, the best way you can kind of pinpoint it is by just, again, like, seeing a change that you want. For instance, let's go for, I want to change my job. I need a new job. I need a higher pay grade, and I want it working from home, or I need to be around people, whatever it is you want. Okay, just breathe into it and then ask yourself here, what is it I'm afraid of for if I actually go for this job? Okay, so I'm afraid that I won't actually be good enough for the role that I want. I'm afraid that I'm gonna actually just maybe make the wrong decision. Maybe I need to be around people rather than working from home, so I won't go for it. Or I'm afraid that if I go for this job, then the current job I have will get a lot better or whatever. That's a bit of a silly example, but you get the idea. So it's just asking yourself, what are these fears in your way of actually you taking that action? Another example is for losing weight. I want to lose weight, but I'm afraid of failure, so I'm not even going to bother starting. And that is what thousands of people do every day. They just don't bother starting. They set the intention to start the night before, but something happens or that subconscious fear steps in and they don't actually make those changes. And I just really want to touch on, you know, after the whole energetic shift that we need, I just want to also touch on depression and anxiety as well, because obviously depression and anxiety are only increasing in this world that we live in. And with everybody, I know most people I know in my life have been in a very dark place at a certain time in their life, some more than once, and we've all been through it, most of us. And the main thing here is to know that this too shall pass. And I know it's really simple, you probably already know this, and it's just when you are in this state of mind, this really low state of mind, it's really difficult to even think like that, and it's really difficult to ever think it's going to get better. So just know, if this is you, you really want to make these changes, but you're in this low state right now, just know that it just takes one thing, one person in your life, one action you take, whatever it is, to then start to then get you on that road to where you actually want to be. Just don't know that yeah, you can definitely do it. The power is within you, and always you. The power is never with anybody else. So we need to stop disempowering ourselves. We need to take responsibility, whatever it is in your life. Even if, okay, I'm going on one today, but even if it's someone, okay, say someone is showing up in your life and they are not giving you what you want, they are not acting in the way that you feel a good person should act. I just want to pose this kind of question of, how are you showing up to them? Okay, so this is a whole other video in itself, but I just want to quickly touch on the mirror effect and the 50-50 rule. However they're showing up, you're going to react. And in turn, how you react will trigger their reaction. And then that's just going to trigger, reaction. Rather than reaction, we need to observe. And observation is key here. That's really, taking a step back, observing, okay, this person is acting like this. Okay, the reasons why they're acting like this is possibly because of X, Y, and Z. You may not even be aware of what these reasons are, but it doesn't really matter. Just know that there's something going on with this person that you're not really down with, you're not really aligning with, and it's just something that you're now there not to react, okay? Because the reaction is probably just going to make things worse for them. And that is one way you can change a dynamic between two people. It is super, super powerful when they show up in a certain way, but you're basically not reacting, and you're kind of not feeding into them, but being more of a neutral, taking a neutral stance in that situation. Then you're allowing them to show up differently. So it's about mirror effect, you show up differently, they can then show up differently. You show up differently, they can then show up different. And that kind of upward spiral effect of improving that relationship with whoever it is in your life. So that's one thing you can really do to majorly change the way your relationships are, whether it's friends, family, or a partner. So that was just one added thing I wanted to add in. So really, this is all, the changes are all based on awarenesses and being aware of things such as fear behind our subconscious, and of how we react to things, to the external environment, to other people, and to the world as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this has helped. Whatever changes you want to make, just again, know that you've got the power to do so. It can only come from you. And once you're ready, you're going to do it. And yeah, cut that cord, whatever you need to do, and just shift your energy into that timeline where you are becoming that person that you want to be. So sending everyone love, and I will see you next time.